We also have a rogue and a paladin in this party.
He has done this on purpose, and we all hate him.
These are things that happen completely by coincidence.
Sure.
But you are brought food. You're essentially, do you remember the the Fridays sampler platter?
Oh yeah.
You're brought that, but full dishes. So like full plates of steaks, mutton, lamb, boar. Just, there's a lot of food here.
Food.
We're asshole.
Artoria just starts eating. Because goddamn, is it better than bread and water?
Just
Is this a bad
inhaling
time?
food.
Is this a bad time to claim that Isoba is a vegetarian?
Probably.
He's not, but that would be intensely funny.
Among dwarves, I think you just get kicked out of the hold.
You're just
I
immediately...
was kicked out back into the fucking wilderness.
The
How
siege
dare
you're
you
in
bring that
just
shit here.
launches you straight up. There's a hole in the roof and you're spat
Just
out.
drops me into the Underdark where I fucking belong.
I could see like them just not understanding it first. It's like, you have to
What does
keep
that what does that even
repeating.
mean?
What does it even mean?
like- It's like that scene in, I hate to reference this film, but My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
What do you mean you don't eat meat? You have the lamb.
It's okay. I make you lamb.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there is vegetable. There are vegetables. There are also like large. It almost looks like a portobello mushroom, but bigger. That is sauced and seasoned.
Come on, Myconids.
We
I think
just were in Mushroom City. We just went through The Last of Us last session. Not about it.
I mean, you're underground.
These ones aren't growing out of anyone's eyeball.
There's also
I was blacked out
potatoes.
for that session.
You were, and it shows.
Mushrooms. The rest of the party.
Maybe you want to go easy on them.
They grow out of people.
Yeah.
Soylent Green is people.
But they taste so good.
Dude, tastes really good.
All the uncertain things, though.
People?
Yes.
Not that kind of certain thing, but hey. It's a first for everything.
Just someone, and just for the sake of payment, someone just marked down it's about a gold for the meal and drinks.
So 1,999 gold to split amongst the party. Presumably 6 or 7 ways, depending on when Obelisk gets here.
Speaking of such things, would you be kind enough to throw us a sheet that can be edited, and we'll use that for like party funds and stuff?
Sure.
That's appropriate.
Here's a handout,
Yes, please.
and it's in every player's journal,
I don't see it.
and can be edited by all players.
He's
I
about
can't
to get
edit it.
saved.
I know I'm just being a
The beans of
dickhead.
jumping?
There we go.
I know,
Yay!
mysterious
The beans
note.
of jumping. Wait. That'll be there for you, and you can have that. That way we don't have the bag of holding issue as to who has it and what do we have, Payton.
I may or may not have been the self-proclaimed person who kept track of everything and then didn't keep track of anything.
Don't worry, I'm the charismatic character. I'll keep track of the bag of holding. Hey, Payton, what do we have to sell? What do you mean?
You want to talk about it?
So I personally, now that I has a full belly, would like tomorrow to go and see a man about a pistol. And I have this weird feeling we should also meet someone else soon, but I'm not sure why. So wherever that should happen, maybe I should get a quest marker for that.
If only someone had like an exclamation point over their head and said, and like a mission to recruit a new party member.
Does anyone in this particular establishment look exclamatory?
Define exclamatory.
I don't know. Would I get a big exclamation point over?
God damn it! Roll an insight check.
No, I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know where to go to get you to where Agni comes in.
Don't worry. You just play Rogue Paladin.
Rogue the fighter, and Paladin. We're good.
You just play Rogue the fighter, Paladin.
Just
gunslinger.
I need to speak to a man about a gun at some point, or at least get Prudence the supplies necessary to properly.
Who the fuck is Prudence?
Prudence.
Did you just mix Prudence and produce?
Prudence. Rush. I switching back and forth between a weird, like, Blishby accent and my own voice, and sometimes the vowels get a little tricked up. So,
look, I know she's pink, but she's not made of strawberries.
I mean, Prudence supplies to properly help me with this contraption that I refer to as my gun.
You mean the pile of rust and broken parts that I'm gonna start making you roll for checks?
This is a fully functional death machine.
Mm-hmm. That I'm gonna start making you roll checks next time you fire it.
This right here has killed at least 100 of its users.
Oh, wow. That was not where I thought that sentence was going.
It's a death bringer. So.
Okay. Both, I think. I think both are appropriate.
First one, then to other.
Oh boy. Okay.
Just wait till she can turn it into a disintegration ray.
Now you're
a fucking what now?
It's already disintegrating.
Yeah, it ain't that far off.
So off to get some shut-eye and then visit the places in the morning. Perhaps.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, you can easily acquire room and board. It's another gold piece. 2 gold pieces for your party.
2 each or 2 total?
Total.
1,993 remaining. Bing. And Rogue will like awkwardly ride up to Artoria and just put one big meaty gauntleted hand on her shoulder and be like, "Are you okay having lost your special friend?"
What?
Yeah, run that the fuck by me one more time.
Are you okay being separated from your princess? I mean, I personally,
I heard something about washed and special friend, and I was like, what does that even mean? But okay.
Washed
I
your
heard
special
that too. That is also what I heard.
Rook.
I was like, is that some weird innuendo for like Artoria like drinking? Is like or what's going on here?
I've had a little bit of this dwarven ale and I'm still chewing it. It's like drinking with your mouth full. So
You are chewing the ale? I think you're doing it wrong.
You just see Road currently biting into the cup.
No, not even biting the mug itself, but like he just puts it up to his face, and you can see him making biting motions into the open hole.
Oh, have the dwarves not advanced to the point of edible cups? They must not care about their environmentalisms. But that's aside the point. I was just making sure that you was dealing emotionally with the loss of your princess companion. You okay?
Yes, I'll be fine.
You sure?
Of course, I'm going to worry for her, but
Okay, cause this.
she's in good hands.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good night. And he sort of starts making his way towards where he thinks the stairs are.
There are
Paladin.
no stairs.
That's he's making his way to where he thinks the stairs are.
There are no
He gets
stairs.
there. He's like, wait a second. What sort of establishment is this? Stairs.
You also see the rest of your party is making their way through a doorway that leads to a long set of hallways.
Well, that's just ridiculous. Come on, Paladin. Let's go sleep in the kitchen like they're all apparently doing.
And you walk through the hall at the door, and these lines of hallways with rooms. They're in a mountain. They can build wide, but they have people above them they can't go through.
Absolute madness. So, wherever the appropriate places, go sleep.
You all find your way to your rooms. You lay down. Oh God, beds.
Oh God, they're so short.
Why are they getting stone?
They're soft. You are given normal people-sized rooms. Or maybe dwarves sleep in exceptionally long beds, you're not sure. And even through the crowd and the din of the tavern itself never seems to fade completely. Nowhere during the night. It's always at some point loud. But you all manage to find, exhausted as you are, sleep. Isoba.
Hello.
As you sleep, and you drift into a dark nothingness, that is your dreams. You find yourself alone in a very dark room. No doors or windows. A light, maybe 100 feet up. It's round, no discernible marking. From drifting out of the light comes a long white feather. You reach up and grab it, and as you grab it vanishes. And another fall. You reach up and try to grab that. Vanishes. Then another falls. This one is different. This one has a stain at the end. It's stained red. You try to reach out and grab that one. And once again, as soon as your fingers touch it, the feather fades into nothing. And another falls. And another, and another, and another. More and more start to fall towards you, and the more that fall, the more stained they're becoming until they're now just coming down as red feathers. And then finally, they're not falling as feathers at all. They're just falling down around you, raining. The floor starts to build around your feet. Puddle starts to grow, passes your knees. It's heavy, like a sludge. It continues to rain down on you, staring up to a source of light, and the lights grow dim, fade. The pool of blood reaches your chest, and you reach up, trying to grab desperately for the top, for the roof, for anything, as it crests your neck, and your chin takes your mouth. You take one last gasp of air before it covers you completely. And now you're floating and struggling, and you're trying to pull yourself. You can't find the surface, you can't breach. And there's silence around you. And you hear a voice. And you look around, you're losing
I'm
your...
sorry, I didn't hear my voice just said.
It said, "Please, find me." You look around for the source of it, but your breath escapes you, and the blood starts to fill your lungs, and you cough and spasm and start to drown before you pull yourself up out of your bed, breathing heavily, looking around, and you're back in the room. And resting at the foot of your bed is a long white feather.
I pick it up.
It's solid. And as you turn it in your finger, just the very tip, single spot of...
How long have I been sleeping for?
Only a few hours.
Well, I'm not sleeping any fucking more, I guess. That's unsettling.
Artoria.
Oh.
When you go to bed, you're heavy. You have faith in your God and the path they've set before you. You are here for a reason, even if you don't remember it. But even still, you can't help but feel the weight of the events you've been through. It weighs on your mind. And suddenly you're drifting. Floating in darkness. But it's comfortable. You're not falling. You're floating. And then you're not floating. You feel weight against your back. When you turn and you look down, surrounding you are 5 massive fingers. A hand and you're resting in the palm. From each of the fingers is a small thread. From each thread, 1,000,000 more span, going in every direction. Twisting and turning and weaving around each other. Some tying together, some parting. In a tapestry around you. And you look around and you feel a comfort at the center of all of it. And even as the thoughts of demon, undead drift through your mind, you feel a peace, a calming. Eventually the hand fades, and the darkness around you fades. And you spend the rest of your rest in a dreamless, quiet sleep. You all arise. In the morning, or at least what you think is morning, because it's dark in here and there's no wind.
Oh god, if it's just always dark, someone has to wake Artoria up.
You all eventually arise and start heading your way in to find breakfast.
I think during the long rest, at some point, Prudence is going to take apart her. She had an upgraded hookshot. She's gonna unupgrade it and start having put together another boomerang.
Okay, so Prudence is now dual wielding boomerangs.
Yes.
All right, I
That's
like
intense.
With sharpshooter. So,
Wow.
it. Maybe that one will hit something.
maybe.
I don't know. You're on track to bet. You have the most kills still, I think.
And the most ones rolled. I think.
Yeah. But you all find your way to breakfast and a commotion.
Hmm?
As you walk out of the hallway that leads into the tavern, there's a bunch of people sitting around having breakfast, but you see two others, and they're standing over a third figure at a table, or not sitting. He looks to be pushed off his chair and is laying against the floor.
Rogue eyes the scenes like, we're suspicious.
You can hear them spitting vile at this person. Why you come here fucking up my breakfast? Fucking blistered bastard, and he throws a foot towards the other person.
Like, takes it off and throws it?
Yeah, where'd he get the
No,
foot?
he just kicks at the guy. He just kicks at the person. I was trying to. You know what? I'm not gonna be fun. I'm not gonna try to be fanatic anymore.
That's gonna provoke a response from Isoba. That's like, I see this ending no way other than initiative.
Oh boy.
Artoria, yeah, also not a fan.
Well, can I see this?
No bullies in my bar.
Yeah, Rogue is like, fight, 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 fight.
Can I see this group? Do we have clear line of sight on this group?
You have clear line of sight. They're standing around a person who's on the ground.
Eldritch Blast right at their feet.
Roll for attack.
I was hoping to roll for intimidation.
Roll for attack first.
Sure.
Okay, that's enough. Now roll for intimidation.
Enough of this.
You all watch as Isoba reaches a hand out and a beam of whitish green energy impacts the ground. The two men back up and grab the table and turn to look at you. Hey, what the fuck is that? And all the rest of the patrons who have been enjoying their breakfast ales and food stuffs before the day begins all turn to life. You notice that a lot of them before you did that were trying to avoid eye contact with the situation. However, you have certainly brought eyes upon you.
Isoba will step more into the room, drop his robe, and you see just the full ornate studded leather armor that he's wearing. You are done here. Finish your food or go.
Come on. We don't need this shit. And the two grab their stuff and they leave.
I walk over to the person that has been bullied.
As you see, it's a sort of hobbled dwarf. Their skin is covered in these boils. Some areas are scarred, some look fresh. And, why don't we have the new person describe their character?
You want me to describe just normal or in character?
Just describe what he looks like.
Okay. So best way to describe Oglis, he looks like the little mutant short guy from 300, but instead of elephantitis everywhere, it's growths and boils and stuff like that. Kind of Quasimodo meets like mushroom guy.
A sight to behold.
Oh, thank you.
Isoba reaches a hand down for him.
Oglis will reach up and stand up with his assistants.
And you see this man is hunched and his body is kind of pressed inward into itself. He's got a bit of a bruise on the side of his forehead where he impacted the ground.
As he takes my hand, I dump a healing light into him. It's par for the course.
Those healing lights have been very stingy.
They really have, but that's the nature of the D6, I guess.
Upon feeling the warmth of the light from Isoba, Oglis will just kind of giggle a little bit.
Well, that was a sound.
You alright, guy?
Oh yes, they didn't mean much by it. It's normal.
It shouldn't be.
Looks like they meant plenty by it.
Oh, it's just part of what I have to live. They're really nice guys.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, forgive me if I don't believe ya.
Oh yes, those happen anytime I want food. It's my payment since I don't have money.
That's not how this works.
Oglis will look quizzically at
Nobody gets beat because they don't have money. That's not normal.
It has all I've known. I was abandoned as child, and they take me in when they.
Oh,
Who are you?
Rogue kind of strolls over at this point and hands a mug of coffee up to Isoba. Here, drink this. You're not yourself until you've had your first cup of coffee. Now, I wonder if this thing is professional fool / whipping boy. You may have just deprived him of his livelihood. Is you going to be taking responsibility for your actions?
Is that what's going on?
Well, if he's been taken in by their family to be the fool or whipping boy, and he's been benefiting from that for all these years, and now you has just destroyed that. That's terrible of you.
He is not benefiting from it.
Well,
I don't care what he's getting on the other end. Nothing's worth what he was going through. We only saw the very tail end of it.
I feel you may not have starved before.
I don't know a good way to say this in character, but bitch, you don't know my life.
I feel like that might be.
I feel like that could have just been in character.
Just add a Z snap at the end of it.
Yeah. Completely change the accent.
I want to hear the accent. Do it. But you do not. I can't even do that one.
No, just completely removes the accent. Just goes into a different accent all of a sudden.
Rose like head snap back like what?
He's been faking it this whole time.
Of course I'm faking it. It's D&D.
That's the accent he affects. What's his real one? No. Where's?
August will step in and inform the group that he is not the full of those guys, but is actually a healer of the civilian circle.
Do you not get paid for your service?
No.
Well, that is bullshit.
Yeah, that's not right.
I do have to agree that seems a little awkward.
So you're doing good things for people, and yet they beat your ass. There's something broken here.
Well, hang on a second. Team Huddle. I believe we can beat their offer of 0 by perhaps 1 copper yearly.
You do.
I think. But
Rogue. And then Rogue
beginning.
broke the thinking people.
You say thinking people.
You are Rogue, you are on the right track. We will do better than 0.
Yes, I feel 1 is an infinitely larger sum than 0.
I can't say you're wrong, and I've never been one that's good at math, but
Goblin
something still just don't
mash.
seem right about that.
Goblin mash is a very specific field, dealing primarily with the fleecing of others.
It's that new math.
That's that new math they've been teaching.
If a goblin has 1 coppers and you has 2 coppers, how many coppers does a goblin have? 4 coppers.
Okay, we will do human math.
Artoria, like,
Not-
obviously starts counting on her fingers and has a very confused look.
Rogue, if you do not mind, we will use human math.
Well, seems
Okay,
less
that's
profitable.
more of it.
Seems less
Okay.
profitable, but yes.
Group huddle over. Yes?
Break.
Maybe 2.
Also, for the record, what you overheard of the 2 gentlemen that were overneath. Ooh, words are coming good tonight, guys. Over Oglis. They were angry at his appearance, spoiling their breakfast.
Oh.
Par for the course.
Well, he's not considerably uglier than them.
You might need to watch your mouth, Rogue.
Just because it's true doesn't mean you should say it in a town full of them.
I mean, they all look alike.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
Digging the grave just keeps
I
getting
have to
deeper.
roll to see if someone heard that. Natural 1! Woo!
We in the clear, boy.
Maybe.
So anyways, if you all want to do the negotiation, hey, you fella,
Sure.
come over here and be negotiation.
Oglis approaches.
Ogdisk, we are a group of individuals who are traveling currently. Christ, my accent is going all over the place. Would you like to join us?
Friends?
Sure.
Sure. And you will get paid, and you will eat without being beaten.
Oglis is moved emotionally and goes in for a hug on his.
Sure.
Okay.
It is the start of a beautiful bromance.
Well, this is
Full differences.
this is going to entirely shift the matrix.
Ah, damn it. So, as your first payment, we offer you 1. Right, Rogue? 1 is what
Yes.
you'd agreed on? I hand him one. I hand him 1 platinum.
Well, perhaps you is not
You-
so wise in
you
the ways
said-
of commerce.
You said 1. I gave him 1.
You say that like the agreed upon amount was 1, and then you hand him a platinum, and again you see Artoria put it like just finger counting like 1 platinum, significantly more than 1 cut, and just eyes crossed.
Oh.
Artoria hasn't learned to count that high.
She's not very bright.
Negative intelligence.
This right here is why they say that dwarves shit in halls of gold, and humans just fall over dead early.
Do people say that?
Oglis,
My brain.
Oglis will not accept the platinum, but just again reiterate friends and Waterboy slap hands everyone.
And
All right.
Prue has an extra hand. That is metal. That reaches over her shoulder.
Yeah, there's the bubblegum tiefling has 3 arms.
That's 3 high fives.
Come on, buddy. Let's get breakfast.
You help set the table back up, and breakfast is provided as part of the stay tavern.
As
And you are
Oglis,
treated to a meal of eggs and bacon and bacon and bacon.
Yes.
while eating, Oglis noticed one of his boils has split open, and so reaches for his ointment that he uses to close them back.
So, I mean, it's not exactly breakfast conversation, but it's a little hard to avoid. Why you look like chewed bubblegum?
Rob,
That was not the description anymore.
Yeah, you can't just.
Ask somebody why they look like chewed bubblegum.
No, it's okay. When I was
It really
younger,
isn't.
when he means no harm. When I was
Where the-
younger,
There's to be
I-
seen.
I developed these bumps and boils. My parents couldn't afford the medical bill, so they took me to the woods and left me. And then over the years, the spores and woods became friends with me, and
And the word spores causes all of you to shudder really hard.
So like it's not just shudder, it's just Rogue opens his mouth and the bacon and the eggs just fall off of his tongue onto his plate, and he closes his mouth slowly and pushes back. So you saying you got never?
I was raised by
You sure, but we're
fungus.
gonna need some fire.
already preparing for that.
One bad mushroom doesn't mean they're all bad.
You've never had pizza.
Excuse
Is that
me?
a goblin? Is that a goblin delicacy?
No, that's an old goblin saying about mushrooms. Don't worry about that.
I am so confused.
Sorry, I was a little put off by the fact that he's about to explode mushrooms out his eyes and go stumbling around. Could we burn him now?
No,
No.
there will be no burning.
Wait, but that's what you said. You had the fire ready. We can burn him.
I'm not contagious.
Hear him out.
Whoever's proficient in nature, make a roll.
Not Isoba.
-1.
In nature?
Yeah.
Nope, not proficient in that.
Oh, goody.
Take back what I said. One bad mushroom does mean they're all bad. As far as I know.
Okay.
Well, he's obviously been living here since he was a kid, and nobody else. There doesn't seem to be an outbreak of bubblegum, so we should be
Except
fine.
you.
Yeah, I mean, like, did you happen to meet him in your pet?
I don't know. They all look pretty messed up to me. And he starts looking around at the dwarves.
All right, you know what? Everyone make a nature check, since none of you are good with plants.
Isoba is definitely not good.
Yeah.
Okay. Prudence and Rogue, you've heard of certain individuals that can manipulate elements of nature.
No.
And some of them are specifically spore-based entities. This is not a completely unheard of thing.
Manipulate?
This is even worse than I thought.
Yes.
I'm coming up with a hard way of explaining that he's a druid of spores.
Nope, we're good.
Yeah, I got that. We got that. We just didn't get there in character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a 2 nature check, so I'm just like mushroom plus person equals, and
Well.
then just 2 branches, and it's just like you hear the gears turning and.
See, I have a +3 to nature, so technically I rolled a worse than you, Payton.
both
Yep.
both Isoba and Artoria just
Just chugging.
Whoosh. As long as he keeps whatever's going on inside him, I suppose it's fine. I mean,
You will have to excuse us. We had a bad experience with mushrooms recently.
yeah, we was on this trip and it went bad. Bad trip.
My
bad mushroom trip.
spores react to only those who threaten me.
Then we shall never threaten you.
Well,
Never, ever, forever, never. Because I don't like mushrooms.
wait a second. How did they threaten you? And the spores not? Oh, my head hurts.
Oglis will.
You bring up this point, and oh god, does it just get worse?
Oglis reaffirms that he doesn't feel threatened by when that happens because it's normal for him. But then he goes on to explain how over time he became known as a healer and a monster out in the woods. The king needed someone healed, was brought into the hold, and now serves as a healer for people.
Alright. But I'm keeping an eye on you.
Very specifically,
The
you were
king
brought,
aware
very
of what
specifically,
people have been doing?
you were brought in by the Stone Speaker, to whom you know as name Stone Speaker Marion.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, moss on stones is like, commonplace. Oh no.
We heard that.
Obelisk. Hey, look. I think we got off on the wrong foot. Would you happen to know a good place to buy a guns? And he puts this cheaper run on the table.
Known this motherfucker for 5 minutes. Hey, can you help me buy a gun, please?
There's this weird waiting period for goblins. And
Yeah, 5 fucking minutes.
I was hoping you could buy the gun for me.
Hey,
Get past this
Rogue,
goblin waiting period.
Rogue, as you put the gun on the table, just roll a d20 for me.
Why put the gun on the table? I
Oh,
roll
no.
a d20.
Just roll a d20 for me.
Run one d20. D20. 17.
Okay, the gun doesn't accidentally misfire.
I was expecting this to fire.
However,
right
you
then.
do hear it click as if it went to.
Son of a bitch, look at that. Didn't fire. Disappointing. And he takes the gun and he holds on to it real tight and he bangs the barrel of it on the table. And he's just banging the barrel on it. A little thing of wax pops off the top, and he turns it upside down. And he shakes it a little bit, and a bunch of salt pours out. And he looks around and like, oh, hang on, grabs some salt and starts pouring the salt into the barrel, and then he seals the wax back over it and puts it down again. Yeah.
Hold on. Prudence, you take 3 points of psychic damage as you watch.
See, I'm trying a new thing here. I
Called ruining your.
If you make a salt the wound joke, I will end the stream now.
I would never.
Yes, you fucking would. Don't lie.
I would never
Liar,
go so
liar.
far
Pants
as
for
to say
liar.
that I was creating an assault rifle.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, that's
Okay.
so much right.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, god damn it.
So, as you can see, I'm
We're in a bar, not a school.
and
Oh, okay. I need to take a break.
Okay, and we're going to take a break. Kyle, please end this. Please just pause the stream. Somebody, anybody, please pause the stream now.
I'm not sure they're listening to pause, but we can do our 5-minute break. We will and pick back up from there. And hello, people into it.
Okay, good people. We're going to go
I don't think that's the right word to describe us.
Whoa,
take a break now while Payton thinks about what he's done.
Oh, I thought. I sat there and I was like, let me make this joke for a solid like 20 seconds. And I was like, yeah.
Yes, we have been tavern talked. So we are.
Why is it tavern talk just me and Kyle?
I'm not sure.
This is gonna end horribly.
Well, Kyle has some words for just me.
I need to be yelled at for how horribly offensive I am.
That's a really weird selection too, because that is not like the top two or bottom two. That's
It's just randomly
It's the
picked.
top and the bottom.
It's the top one.
Whoop, whoop.
but 5 minutes.
Yeah, all right. Woo! I'll be back.
Oh man.
Oh dear.
Okay, I need to go put my AC on and dump my head in ice water or something. God almighty.
Ooh, look at Kyle being all fancy with hovering graphics that move on. No, that's just him. It's never.
I was really hoping it was going to be like the DVD screen where it just kind of slowly bounces around the screen.
It actually has that capability. OBS has like all the little texty tricks. Bing, bing, bing. See, I'm like watching this like 5 seconds behind, so I can't tell what the bings are supposed to be, but I pretended that's what it was.
Bing.
Close enough.
Oh, so hey, who's Gigi Nelly? I see the name. Hello, by the way, but I don't know who you are.
He watched our
Perhaps
one shot
you?
on Tuesday.
Oh, okay, cool.
He was the one that fanboyed over your goblin units.
Ah, well, Gigi, if you would like to be exposed to more goblins, I don't know why anybody ever would, but do feel free to hop in the channel.
The goblins kind of expose themselves.
I mean,
You
is
can't
that
forget the Tittles music interlude.
Tittles? Tittles now has a business partner, Geppetto. So Geppetto running Goblins Quarterly out of Shay's Goblin. I am excited about the group that picks the goblin path.
I wanted the kobold path, but I got beat.
There's always more one-shots. And actually, we've got one coming up Tuesday the 25th that I think we're going to kick that one off around 7. And I think tomorrow night we're actually scrounging up something to do, but I'm not sure what.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to try and figure out what Oglis's voice is gonna sound like. I wanted him to sound kind of like the mushroom face guy from the Goonies, but that would just be really obnoxious.
Yeah, Sloth can only love Chunk so many times before it gets greater.
Right.
I'm very bad at voices. I can't hold them.
Oh, neither can
I like to pretend I'm good, but
I'm self-deluded, so I'm amazing.
Has Payton had a chance to think about what he's done?
I don't know, Peyton's muted, so he's over there in the corner, like shuffling his feet, looking up at the school hooks. Actually, that's gone out of fashion. I just realized coat rooms don't really exist anymore, do they?
Nope. But they do in D&D.
They can exist if you want them to. That's the fun about being God.
So can the elevators, apparently.
Hey, I told you guys when you came in here that this was going to be a World of Magic deck.
Totally did.
Lovecraft and Eldritch horror.
Eldritch horror?
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch isn't
Blast.
Eldritch. How is it pronounced?
I pronounce it
Eldritch.
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 I mean, I guess you're not super wrong. It just sounds fun. And I'm in a make fun of people mood. I don't know why.
No, it's
I should
look,
check myself.
the
Fun of people?
All right. So the vast majority
Oh, that brings them back.
Yeah, the vast majority of fantasy words I learned on my own out of books. So yeah, I got them wrong in my head.
That's how it's pronounced. Eldritch.
Eldritch. It's Elric horror. That's where I'm going. That's where my brain went.
It's going where?
I'm going to Melniborn.
You're going to where?
Melniborn for the Champion Eternal.
I feel like you said three
That
different
doesn't
things each time we
help
asked.
me. It doesn't help me.
Also, Sin is in the chat talking shit.
What? Hi, Sin.
Don't. I'm trying to check myself, Sin.
Or Kyle, possibly.
One of them.
Could be.
Kyle's on his own account in there.
Uh-oh.
Also, I feel like if Kyle wanted to come in and talk shit, he would just turn his mic on for a minute, insult one of us, and leave.
Sin,
He does.
Sin, your words hurt me.
I think we've heard all the voices, though. If we want to slide back into
Yeah, everyone just give me a quick head count.
1.
Hello.
Oh.
Ettin.
Okay,
What up?
yeah, that's enough. Let's get back to that horrible joke that Payton just made.
I thought the
I have no
point was
regrets.
so we would skip over that.
Show of bubblegum. Where can we get you the mercantiles, please?
You do know where you don't know where a gunsmith happens to be, because it's not really metal and you don't really go together. You do know where the craftsmen exist within the city.
Okay. So with that, I will hop up from the table joyfully and say, "Follow me, follow me."
Okay.
And then
It actually means going down more rings, and you're brought down past ring 4, which seems to me... Ring 4 also says... it's the same marking. So ring 2 was... ring 3 was civic, ring 4 is also civic. But beyond that, ring 5, you start to get into it. It says craftsman.
okay, and would I know which floor, or just that this is now the area?
Yeah. Well, you know that floor 5 and floor 6, partially floor 7, are all craftsmen. It's all where the building.
Okay, we're getting off at floor 5 and searching.
And as soon as you all exit onto the 5th floor, the 5th ring, you notice something different down here. It's not as heavily guarded. Normally when you get off the elevator, there's 2 guards. There's only 1 right now. However, what you do notice, just beyond the elevator, is a large statue that seems to be watching people as they walk by.
Is anyone else has the creepy feeling that that statue is watching them?
Yes.
And as you're walking by it, you watch its head tilt down to look at you and just follow as you walk.
Prudence gets close and kind of looks up at it and is trying to get just a look at how it's working.
Look, that is
Just
profiling, and that will not be
wow.
accepted.
And Prudence, you know what this is, being an artificer. This is a golem.
She's not of the golem making sort, but she could appreciate.
This is the large stone golem.
August, not having paid attention to them walking, but just going ahead since it's normal, being he's from here, turns around, sees the group standing, looking at the golem, and just reiterates, follow me, and waves his hand.
Well,
Give me a sec. I'm appreciating craftsmanship.
And it is very finely crafted. Not only is all of the lines of very angled and straight and well carved, the runic symboling on both its chest and the back of it, where you see the 2 small whitish glass orbs sit, beautifully put in. It's accented with that same black iron to this dark gray stone, and you see a band of either marble or the same kind of ivory that was used to decorate the throne room is embedded in its head, almost as if wearing a circlet. And as you look down the street, maybe 100 feet down, there's another one.
Fancy.
You realize this doesn't need a lot of security when there's a golem guarding it. This also is an area that is filled with sounds that you're very familiar with. Hammering and crafting and forges being brought to heat. This is an entire long chamber filled with people busy making things. You walk by one store and there's just ticking coming from it.
Distracted. It's like heading right in
And
that
you
direction.
peek your head towards what is actually a glass pane window in the front of this building, and you look in and there's just clocks. Just clocks everywhere. Just rotating gears and winding springs, swinging bars. There's one that's shaped like a cat. It's very interesting to you.
I could learn to love it here.
And you notice that as you're walking, the orbs that give off the light are giving off a soft sunrise yellow as you're walking.
So do we see any gunsmithy type places for rogue?
You actually do. There is a sign. It says the Gallant Gunsmith.
Well, I suppose that'll do. I was thinking more like a underhanded gunsmith, but gallant seems fair. Hello, good sir or madam.
And you see at the front of it, working with his head essentially down in what is a long tube connected to a wooden stock. It's a long rifle type, longer, very longer. Is another gnome. He's got goggles over his head, and one is extending his eye, and you can see, just if you look up, you can see his eyeballs huge in the reflection. And he's just trying to get some sort of tiny little screw into the handle. Yes, I'll be with you in a moment.
Oh, certainly, take your time. I can see you're working on a rifle. A gentleman who appreciates low recoil and needs a lot of compensating.
Right. Yes. Just what? I must got it. You can see kind of force something, and something shifts and clicks and lifts the thing up, and he looks at it. And this gun is twice the size of. From tip of the barrel to end of stock, it's easily nearly 6 feet long.
That must be absolute beast to reload, having to run all the way from one end to the other.
That's the ingenious part. You reload it from here, and he taps what looks like a lever on the side of it.
Well, now you're gone and broke it.
He looks down at you inquisitively.
And
So...
Prudence just like, oh, I see what you did. And big grin.
Are you crafty yourself?
Indeed I am. Waves with her other arm.
Oh my! May I?
Sure.
He hops off to the other side, and he starts trying to come down here. He starts inspecting the arm. This is marvelous. Did you make this?
I did.
Claps his hands together and rubs his palm. Oh, my dear, we could do some wonderful business. Now, what can I help you with? And he's looking directly at you, Prudence.
Well, my companion here is looking for a better firearm than he has. I've tried to repair it. I think it's well beyond that at this point. But
Oh, and he
if,
looks towards the goblin. Oh, well.
I don't think he was ever taught how to properly take care of what he had, but I intend to change that. If he
Well-
insists on getting another one.
Well, I did use table salts this last time. Normally, I would use the bath salts as is prescribed, but you see, I was in a hurry.
So you know how 1218 when he's confused, he has the question mark that appears on his face.
Mm-hmm.
The gnome does that.
He has a TV embedded in his forehead.
No, it's just this.
I more picture this grotesque, like, as his face turns into a question mark and just fucking everyone's horrified.
It's just this look of like words happened. There were definitely words in common being said, but none of them made any.
She just gives the gnome like this long-suffering look. Like, I need help with this.
Right? Let me see your table salt gun, and he starts to reach his hand out, and he's like kind of not wanting to do
She's
this.
like already wincing. Like, this is not going to go well.
Yeah, I named this gun. He says something in common, and he says something in goblin. But in common, it sort of comes out as rust in rhyme. You see, rhyme being, salt is clavers, and then he hands over the gun.
Oh.
Now you want to be careful there. Don't point it to you, and don't point it away from you. You gotta hold it on an angle.
Kind of walks around
Yeah, no, don't do
the
that.
desk, the front counter, and he gets back on his stool, and he very carefully places the gun down. I'm gonna roll a d20 here real quick. Okay, it doesn't go off.
That's good. That's good. Now talk gentle to it.
And he takes out his tinkerer's kit. And he goes to like take one of his tools to take the barrel off, and then he like touches it, the barrel just kind of comes off and rolls a little bit.
Oh yeah, it'll do that.
You've been using this. And he looks up at Prudence, like, help me.
She's like, now you know how I feel.
Okay.
So I was hoping you could repair that.
This. Let me put it this way. A pistol like this can range from anywhere from 2 to maybe 500 gold to buy,
Sure.
purchase, and upkeep. This is about 600 gold to repairs.
Well, obviously my gun would certainly be more valuable.
No.
Well, yeah, that's what you just said. Those little tinker toys that you have there is worth 200 to 500, and mine's worth 600. A veritable beast of a gun.
The math checks out.
I don't think
It's that goblin math.
I don't, sir. There's about 1 usable part left on your weapon. The rest will have to be remade, including the very and he's just like, she's
Going
never
insane.
seen a piece of gear that is this broken.
He's got the look of the gods. If you believe in that sort of thing.
Well, I am personally blessed by the gods, but thank you.
This is a danger to yourself and everyone else around you.
Why, thank you.
And he looks at all of you, and he's like looking at all of you closely and trying to find where the bullet holes are that have gone through you, because surely this goblin has misfired and shot through one of you.
We have not been traveling with him very long.
Oh, well, that's why you're all still unpunctured.
Alive, yes.
Yes, I do tend to shift from group to group fairly regularly.
Okay. Here's what I can do. I can sell you a new gun and teach you how to maintain it properly. Or perhaps teach your friend how to best maintain it. And then hopefully this will never happen again.
Well, I suppose that's reasonable.
Okay. And he picks the pieces of the gun up and he walks it to his back office. And you're not sure if he placed the gun down on a back desk or threw it in the trash. But he comes back with a number of other placed them on the counter. And one is much like you had, except instead of a single barrel with rotating chambers, this one looks like all 4 barrels rotate. And there's a shot in each of them. He gets another one, brings it back. This is a bigger version. Instead of 4 barrels in it, you have 6 barrels. He goes back and brings another one. It's a shorter version of the rifle he's having. He places that down on the table. And then he brings another rifle. It's even shorter, and it's got almost looks like the end of a trumpet at the bottom of it, and he places that down.
Interesting. I suppose that one there, and he gestures to the basic pistol. I mean, it's not the exquisite piece that I am accustomed to, but it'll do for now.
Alright, okay, this one, with the time and craftsmanship that have gone into it, this one will be about 200 gold to purchase. I can give you, along with that, 40 shots, 40 pieces of ammunition that fit the barrels.
Well,
And I can show you how to cast ammo for this gun.
when you say fit the barrels, that makes it sound like you cannot fire any shots in which I can cram into it.
No.
Well, that
And
is
please
the
don't
downside.
do that.
You were never supposed to do that in the first place.
But it was highly effective and efficient. But that's okay. And he'll negotiate, and then we don't have to spend too much time buying my gun. But yeah, I guess 200 gold seems.
Okay, so 200 gold gets you a new pistol. It gets you 40 pieces of ammunition, and he gives you a cast to make more shots for that particular pistol.
Got it.
So you have, as part of your tinkering tools, you have a piece for casting the metal balls that get fired out of your pistol.
Now, just out of curiosity, does this come with a lance attachment?
No, however, he picks up the long musket rifle, and he walks to the side, and he takes out, it looks like a short sword at first, or a rapier, and he puts it on the end of the barrel. And he tucks it in, it locks in place. This, however, can serve as a spear if you find yourself in close-hand combat.
Well, spear's a fine weapon, but I'm more of a lance man myself.
I would never think to ride headfirst into someone this. You watch as he kind of pulls it into himself a little bit.
Well, you see, that's why it's so unexpected and efficient. But that's okay.
It would also bend the barrel to unliving hell and blow up a gun and fired it.
Well, that's why you fire as you is ramming it into them to clear the space.
He looks back at Prudence.
Shrugs.
Let me explain the concept of a gun lance to you.
Okay.
Time passes.
Time passes.
I wish I had an in-character reason to investigate the shotgun. Blunderbuss.
Anyone can use them.
Right, but like Artoria would have no reason to be interested or look at it. So,
I mean,
until she is thoroughly impressed by the goblin's gun.
Prudence is definitely looking like
there is a, and I will say this now, there is a feat you can take that can make you better at firearms. But anyone can technically use them. They exist in this world as martial ranged weapons.
Can I take back my ASI?
Do you really want to?
Probably not. My stats are so shit. That's right. Guns are really prevalent. You know what? She'll look at the shotgun blunderbuss that she totally knows is one in care.
You would, considering you're part of an army that would have used them.
Gotcha. All right. Cool.
Out of curiosity, sitting around, would there be, I guess, the kit for a hand mortar? Like, do they like sell you
now?
So there is not a kit, and I just made air quotes that everyone could see.
I felt those air quotes in my soul.
There is no kit to make a hand mortar, as there is not a kit to make the bad news.
Sounds fair. Excuse me.
You can, however, if you wish, find the parts to make one.
Oh, that's fine. I know where the first part of the parts is. Could you pass me your trash can for a minute? I just need to retrieve a portion of my firearm there for experimental purposes. I feel if I was to launch it, it might explode.
I would also agree with that.
Sure, I have the basics of the concept now.
Just if we're gonna go this route, if we are going to go this route, and you can have Prudence help you if you want. Prudence, you have to be willing to help the goblin make an explosive weapon.
This is the best idea.
Well, she's more likely to help him so it doesn't blow up everybody in the vicinity.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's
give him a bomb.
let's just have you roll a tinkering check using your intelligence modifier at advantage.
I will assist you in this. Or is that me rolling it?
That is you. You are
Okay.
the gunslinger.
I am the gunslingers, and I will intelligently do this thing.
Yeah. So tinkerer's tools, using your intelligence at advantage.
I am the most brilliant designer ever.
Okay. So just so we're not in this shop scaring the ever living crap out of this NPC forever. It will cost you approximately 500 gold to buy the parts that you could put together to make the hand mortar.
Now, according to my goblin's math, I have 1,993 gold.
No. We have 1,993 gold. You don't have any fucking gold.
according to my goblin's math. So prior to that, however, he'd be like, "All right, so I figure there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so many of us." And I said, the 200 for the pistol seems fair at the moment, as you are obviously responsible for the poor condition of my pistol right now. Prudence, you did try. Good try. But so this will be for the new pistol, and then should we not have other expenses, I feel that this particular investment would be excellent for future dealings with groups of things.
You would also have to make the ammo, and the ammo is expensive. However, you have the price for your hand mortar, and you can do it. You are in a place where black powder is also regularly available.
Mm-hmm. So he just throws that out there as, if there's nothing else we want to spend our money on, giving me explosives would be fine.
Let us circle back to this one. Yes?
We can we'll keep it up in the air.
Put a pin in that one.
Very large,
would
very
really appreciate some better armor.
So I also want to inform you that the bad news is also considered an explosive weapon.
Interesting.
I was under the impression that one was super custom. I don't really know if
He just made one. It's sitting there.
Oh, is that what he was making?
That was what he was making.
Oh, I didn't realize that was such a big compensating weapon.
That's the 6-foot rifle. That's the bad news.
Oh,
I thought it was a punt gun.
I was just going for like a. No, I guess. There's your fine weapons you have there.
And boy, I just realized how far it shoots.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I would like to be very outside of combat.
So how does the shotgun work?
It's got a range of 15 minimum, 60 max. You have to reload it after each time you fire it, and it misfires on a 2 or a 1.
Does it hit like a cone or nah?
No, it does 2d8 piercing damage, though.
Oh boy, that's pretty good.
Anybody else notice that Artoria's voice got
gold.
really weird looking at that shotgun?
No question now.
So his investment 200 gold, Swaparoo. Now
for the record, and for the record, just so you know, the merchant will sell you the bad news for 5 as well.
Say it again.
The bad news will cost the same amount as the hand.
Mortar or rifle? AoE or obliteration?
Well, so the difference between the hand mortar and the rifle is one is a two-handed weapon, and the other one is not. So using the bad news
doesn't have the explosive property.
Yeah, it does.
I don't see.
I'm staring at it.
Giving it the explosive property.
I promise you, I'm staring at it right now.
D&D Beyond gives it explosive, but it's also missing its reload. So I'm wondering if that's a
Reload one.
mistake.
To reload one.
Yeah, but either way,
They couldn't. There's only room for 3.
got it.
It doesn't go down another line, apparently.
I mean, if they're both available for 500, the bad news would be the first one, but
Bad news is also terrifying. 2d12.
Loud, I'm sure.
Extremely.
this is fine. All guns is very loud.
Can we just all get guns and then like we start combat by doing like 10 d12s damage? And then we're like, okay, we like put the weapons on the ground and then run in.
Very, very carefully put the weapons on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, they all only have one. They all only have one shot loaded, so we can't misfire them.
I mean, honestly, if you guys want to all buy muskets, line up in a firing line, and then pull your weapons out, I can't say no. I just told you they're all martial ranged weapons.
I have 0 proficiency with martial ranged weapons.
You have Eldritch Blast!
I know, but I want a gun!
Take a feat for it.
Again,
Gun beats Eldritch Blast.
there is a
I mean,
feat.
not really. Not
Well,
really.
it's 1d12 plus it's 1d12 plus your dex, or 1d10 plus your charisma. So
It'll be 2d10s in a level.
No, it'll be 2 different 1d10s.
You're right.
he can miss still.
Yes. Frankly,
Which is
that's better.
Which is why I picked Secret Flame.
There is a feat. I will find it. It's from the Matt Mercer's Guide to Amazingness.
I am not seriously interested in buying a gun, or Isoba is not seriously interested in buying a gun.
Ben is seriously interested in buying a gun.
Ben is seriously interested
Drew
in
is
buying
curious.
a D&D gun, not a real life gun.
Oh, I want a gun license.
Sure.
Shame I live in Mass.
So off to the armor shop or other shopping or onto other things?
Armor shop.
Although I think the next
I
step up
have
for
a
armor is
question
just
before
dumb
we
expensive.
leave the gun thing. I'm not sure how it would work mechanically, like selling things wise, because I know as an artificer, Prue can only have so many upgrades on herself.
Mm-hmm.
But like, say, like, would you like to trade a gun for an extra hand to help you in your work? You know, like, is that an option?
You can. Okay, this is where this gets tricky.
Because I know, like game rules wise, she could only have so much on her, and that's perfectly fine. But like in terms of like I know we were
So,
talking about
when
her
you-
like building somebody an extra limb if they lost. it.
Yes. So if
So-
you. Okay. So when you have your 3 pieces, you build them without a gold cost and without a material cost. However, if you're going to start giving stuff up and selling and trading things, that's when you're going to have to start building and creating and making rolls with money and getting money involved.
Mhm.
Because otherwise, yeah, you can just keep making things and become rich with no downside. So if you were to say give up your arm in exchange for a weapon, for a firearm, you can. But if you want to rebuild your arm, now it's going to cost you gold money. The assumption is that the things you've built, the two boomerangs and the arm, you had the parts and materials for prior to building them.
Mhm.
But giving them up means you don't have them.
Yes. And then like leveling, you have picked up more parts along the way as you get more
Yeah, well,
quote unquote things.
scavenging. You've
Yeah.
come across things in your travels that you picked up, and you've been able to make things. Yes, so you can totally do it. It's just going to, after that point, if you've sold a part, one of your upgrades, and you want to get it back, you need to build it.
Yes.
And we would talk about how much that cost. So totally doable. Just keep that in mind.
Yes.
Payton, the blunderbuss is 300 gold.
I'll stick with my greatsword.
Artoria just slowly puts it back.
Just looks at it, stares down the barrel.
Don't you?
Is instructed not to, continues to. And sets it down sadly. Or not too sadly, but it's just kind of like a eh.
The things we could have done together. Hey, you're a paladin. At some point, you may want a ranged option.
That tends
Eat
to.
this! Fires blunderbuss with fucking smite.
To
Wait,
be
no,
fair,
you can't
they
smite
also
ranged attacks, right?
require you to use your dex modifier, so
That'll be a -2 to hit.
so maybe this is for the best.
Yeah, she picks it up. She tries to aim it and just realizes that it is straight up crooked in her arms, and she's like,
You're just aiming it,
maybe not.
but it's pointed straight at this sky, and you're holding it like a fucking flag.
Prentice will just kind of like put her hand on the barrel and point it slowly to the ground, like, I don't
Please.
think this is for you.
You just put that down.
You're amazing with the giant swords. Play to your advantages.
You're
Is
right.
that everything at the gun shop, or are you buying the bad news?
Wait, is the bad news for sale for 500 or a
Yes.
or preach?
The pistol
we have-
or the rifle?
Where
we
if I
have
has that, I
additional-
won't. If I has that, I won't need the pistol.
All right.
If we have additional funds, we may come back.
All right, so we'll leave the pistol here and come back after you all thought this over and realize that this is the best possible option. Armor store.
Armor store.
Armor store.
Woo!
So what are you guys trying to buy armor-wise?
A
Breastplate.
shield.
Please make a list while I try to find my player's guide. And find
Plate
out how much
armor.
Do you have an extra 1,000 gold?
Ooh.
Well, according to my goblin math,
We can afford the plate armor and maybe also his gun. Nothing else.
So a breastplate costs 400 gold pieces. Yeah, and a shield costs 10, and your plate armor will cost you 1,500 gold pieces.
Yeah, no, I know.
What are you wearing right now?
Splend.
not a
So like
sexual
I'm like I'm the right next to the thing below it, so it's not a big deal. Like I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. I will also buy a shield though.
Do you have a weapon
No, I
that's not
picked
a
up a
greatsword?
shield. I picked up a shield, so I will buy a longsword.
A longsword will cost you, find the longsword,
Like
15.
15 gold.
Oglis does not need anything.
Does Oglith want something?
No.
You're allowed.
Nope.
I thought I put in log sword for a moment, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I just have a giant fucking log.
Yeah, there's no longsword. There's a log bow.
I want the log bow. That uses strength, I'm pretty sure.
No, it shoots it's a magic item that shoots that when you fire an arrow, it turns into a fucking log.
Dope. I want that.
You always
Or I
attack.
want someone to have that.
You always attack at disadvantage, but if it hits, it knocks the person prone.
Oh fuck.
Hell, I already
Because
have a
you
negative
just-
modifier. I'll take disadvantage on top of it.
Because you hit them with a tree.
Now, does it specify the type of tree, or we just going generic?
Whatever wood the arrow is made of.
Hmm.
So like ash usually, right?
So yeah, so all of a sudden you fire the arrow, and as soon as it leaves the bow,
Let's take a trip to California and cut down some redwoods and make some arrows.
I don't think you even need to cut a whole one down. Just
Well,
get a branch.
We'll siege any castle any day.
No, you monster!
I have to actually find that magic item. I
Oh,
really
look
do.
at that silly fool! He's just a single archer. A tree bigger than their fort just slams through
It
it.
would technically considered a siege weapon.
Oh.
You're hitting it with a log. It's really hard.
You
for me
can
to
you
not
can tell me I'm shooting at disadvantage. It's still just. I don't think you could possibly miss.
So what's up at the armor shop?
So what's up with the armor shop? Is this what you guys are buying?
Anybody else need anything?
Nope. And noted, Oglis doesn't enter any stores that we go into, or that you guys go into. I just wait outside.
That's easy enough to buy. You can subtract your gold amounts, and have your new items.
Wahoo!
They are shiny and wonderful.
I am going to use my own gold first for this.
I don't have any gold, so it is all from the party gold.
Party gold is the best gold.
Oh, sorry, it doesn't knock people prone. They have to make a strength saving throw or be stunned because you hit them with a log.
I think the big question is the log
I think it
sharpened or
should.
is it blunt?
I think it does blunt damage or bludgeoning damage.
It does 2d8 bludgeoning damage.
I do feel like it should knock them prone. They're being launched at.
It's only an 8-inch log, so it's not like
It's not a full size tree. All right.
it's the length of an arrow. The arrow just fucking gets big.
What's the rarity of the bow? What's the rarity of the bow?
Uncommon.
All right. So the very rare variant shoots a tree, a full size tree made of whatever arrow it fires.
I'm going to Yggdrasil.
If you fire it,
Well, the rare version is a +1 longbow that fires as far as you can see with no range penalties. It's called the long shot.
That's fucking cool.
Can you see? Yes.
Just like all right. Stop for a sec. Yeah.
3 miles away.
Oh my God. You crit it. Just someone's just standing there having a casual conversation. Suddenly, arrow through the neck, drops dead.
Stand on top of a mountain and rain doom from anywhere.
Oh my God, imagine the fucking magic archer subclass with that.
Jesus.
An arcane archer from 10 miles away.
Just puts you in the fucking astral plane for a round. Or no.
Just
Feywild.
in the mid, just going about your business, just like you're in the fucking Feywild right now. How did I get here? Why is there a log sticking out of my underside?
Why is my
God.
shoulder in pain? Where am I?
So we've been on the log topic long enough that the Twitch chat has already sung through the Ren and Stimpy log song.
Damn.
It's better than bad. It's good.
It's good.
Are we done shoppings? Was there elsewhere?
Um,
Payton, So we're only getting the breastplate, the shield, and the longsword, right?
Yeah. That's all we need from the armor shop.
Well, good news, according to my goblin math.
Does anyone have any other shopping before we talk about goblin math?
I think given where they are, Prudence would probably pick up X amount of gold of like supplies for building stuff,
Okay.
and I'll just have it as like.
So I will mark down this as just mark down artificer supplies, and then just put as the unit, just put 1 for every gold piece you spend on this.
I am willing to give you up to 500 gold pieces of this.
I was like, how many units can like build a thing? Is I guess.
It depends on what you're building.
I don't have any particular plans currently.
Also,
I'll
keep
get
in mind you're an artificer, so you can also make enchanted items.
Yep.
And
Cool
those artificer supplies can also substitute the gold price to enchanting.
Cool.
You're picking up a whole bunch of like scrap metal and stuff, but you're also picking up magic dust and
gems and things.
like base components for enchanting.
Yes.
And you find just on this floor alone, you find plenty of enchanters. Actually, no, sorry. You don't find any magic stores. Very specifically, you find no stores that sell magic items.
But there's stuff.
There is raw
Usable
materials
stuff.
for making certain items, with magic properties. They're not sold in completed items. They are sold as raw materials that people buy.
Cool.
And actually, point of order, you do find out as you're shopping around for this stuff, you find out why. The runic pensophacal thing you heard about on the placard controls all magic, all magic items, all texts, and all learning of wizardry, enchanting. All of that is controlled by that house. They're essentially the big magic school
For the
within
city or in
Dimladar.
general?
Within Dimladar.
Okay.
They control that distribution. So you find that out. You can buy as much as you wish. Just however much you buy, spend the appropriate amount of gold.
Yes.
And that will substitute into anything you want to build or enchant.
Can Prudence make me a flame tongue sword?
Stick? Good.
Eventually.
What is with you and the fucking flame tongue sword? Jesus.
This is the first time I brought it like 1 or twice, but they're really good.
Oh, there's
So
Medium.
I just want a magic sword.
Gosh.
Can a guy want a fucking magical fire sword?
Flame tongue. Rare.
Expensive, probably.
Maybe medium rare.
No, rare.
But,
See, it's like a steak. You can't overcook it.
What? Wait, no, excuse you?
I think he meant you shouldn't overcook it.
I want clarification on that.
You can't overcook steak, or you can't eat the steak.
Okay, good. I thought you were trying to say it is physically impossible for you to overcook a steak, no matter how
No,
long you
I
cook it.
I have overcooked the steak. I made one that was medium well, and I threw it out because I couldn't eat it.
Good. I was about to end your whole fucking career.
What if somebody wants a well done steak? We ask them politely yet firmly to leave.
That is my favorite King of the Hill quote.
So good.
It would cost you
So
2,005. It would cost you 2,500 gold to make a flame dawn sword.
Whoa.
Just letting you know.
Plus time.
Plus time.
We will do that. Not now. Maybe never.
So may I deduct the 500 for a ridiculous weapon?
Yes.
Deducting 500 for a ridiculous weapon.
Prudence is going to be on his ass about taking care of that properly.
And
Deducting
purpose-
1 gold. Deducting
Yeah.
1 gold for the saw to shorten the barrel.
I swear to God.
No.
So you buy the bad news. He throws in it is sort of the same piece to smelt ammo for the pistol. However, this one is not a round ball shape, but a cylinder with a point at the end.
A bullet.
A bullet, except it's a solid piece of fucking iron.
Where's this'll be interesting.
And he kindly asks that you do not mix them up, please, for the love of God.
No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And he's
Also, the
Okay.
bad news. For the record, the bad news bullet couldn't possibly fit into the pistol.
so he buys the bad news, and as he's walking, I don't know if any of you have ever actually seen a. Damn it! The word just escaped me. Tabor toss? Is that the Scottish thing?
Yup.
Okay, it looks like
Tossing,
that.
Yes.
It looks like that. He's got it kind of held down, both hands.
Oh
under
my
the butt.
God, that's right.
And he's-
It's a 6-foot gun, and you're 2 feet tall. This
So,
didn't
not-
cross my mind before now.
not only that, so the goblin now has a pistol in his side, a lance, and a fucking rifle.
How? Wait. You're a small creature, right?
Yup.
I
How
could
the
be
fuck
considered
do you use the
small.
lance?
What the fuck?
I could be considered small, and curiously, the lance does not have the heavy property.
It doesn't.
It is
It does
two-handed,
not.
but it
That
does
is
not have the
hilarious.
heavy
Oh my
property.
It can
God.
only be
Reach
used
special.
while mounted. That's
I want
what
you to
gets
know
it
it
around
doesn't
it.
have the two-handed property. It only has reach and special.
Oh, sorry, reach and special, but it has two-handed if you're on foot.
Yes. So
but-
so you're telling me
It's a
you
good
can
thing.
dual-wield lances
It's
as
a-
long as you're mounted and it doesn't go against the game's rules.
It's a good thing.
Absolutely fucking yes, you can.
However, you'll have disadvantage riding your mount.
What if it's like really
You
strong?
say that like it's a bad thing.
Show.
What
Anyway,
if it-
So he has what amounts to a 5-foot pole and a 6-foot gun strapped to his back.
Why
better
didn't
duct
we
tape those
Why
together.
didn't we think about this? Why didn't we think about this?
to see if
wait, what do you mean?
6 feet tall.
What do you mean? Why didn't we think about this? About this, I'm carrying it like a tabor. So I kind of to go forward, I give it a little lean so it gets ahead of me, and I come trotting along.
This is the most dangerous, irresponsible thing I think I've ever been a part of.
How tall is Rogue? Isn't
Well-
he like 3'5"?
He's not a tall goblin.
All right. Here's the play, right? We saw the barrel, but
Nope.
but
Nope, this is
No.
you
why.
know what? No. We saw the barrel, but like
do not
in a
saw the barrel
screw
of a
in a
pristine
screw
rifle.
way, so
No.
you can screw it back on and off when he's not shooting in the turn.
It doesn't work like that.
Prudence will punch anybody with her metal arm who tries to cut that thing in half.
All right, I
So
won't cut it. I'll just snap it.
Rogue is 3'5". It has
Okay,
been rolled.
so he has 2.5 feet of gun above his head.
Yes.
Think
Yes,
of the anti-material rifle from Fallout. Strap it to a 6-year-old.
We did
Makes
not
sense.
think this through.
We thought this through perfectly.
I was all on this one, and let's see here. Ah, yes. The gun weighs exactly 15 pounds less than he does. So,
Can you even carry it?
you know, it's funny. He always wears these big gauntlets.
Oh, okay.
Wait, how do you only weigh? How do you only weigh 40 pounds?
He's a
Because
small
he's
creature.
3'5".
They're considered goblins are small.
My dog weighs like 60 pounds, and she's only like 2 feet tall.
There is nothing to this character. Like he is bones and bones.
I mean, fair.
Beans and beans.
With a 19 strength.
Well, the 19 strength all comes from the gloves.
That's right.
So
So, if you want to also purchase ammo, you may spend money. You get 5 rounds for every 10 gold you buy, or you can make them for half the price.
well, he'll take the starter set of 5.
Okay. You have 5 bad news shots. The bullets are as big as your fucking head.
He's got a bandolier of those. They're just like sticking out from his chest. Like,
So
looks like
one
he's
of
got just
so
soda cans.
this thing shoots a bullet that is about 2 inches long,
Or his friends.
which is as long as my middle finger.
It's okay. It's
So
primarily a self-defense weapon, and intimidation
What?
is important.
So,
Luckily, it's open carry here because concealing would be difficult.
Yeah, I
all right,
fucking
well,
hope
if
it's
this
open
is the route
carry
we're
here.
taking, I want to go back to the blacksmith and just buy 2 tower shields.
So,
Fuck it.
And
Yeah.
I'll just stand in front of him, and or no, he'll just be on my shoulders, and I'll just like clash them together and be like, fire from
Get a
behind
leather
the wall.
You
Get a
understand that if
leather
he's-
worker. Find a leather worker. We're making a goblin harness.
The problem is, it still can't be me because I'm at point blank range.
come along, Paladin.
Okay. So
Put him on the arm.
the
Put him in the
last
third
thing,
arm.
the last thing that the person informs you of is that you're going to need ear protection for yourself and your mastiff, or you will deafen that creature.
Actually, the Mastiff already has earmuffs, so he's good. The Goblin will definitely take additional ear protection.
Just it costs a silver.
Yes, thank you. I will take that under advisement, and here's your silver.
Because if you
and-
do not have ear protection and you are within 5 feet of this gun going off, I consider you deafened until the end of the next round.
that seems reasonable.
And
This
you're
is
a
a-
dog with significantly better hearing.
This
no,
is a motherfucker of a gun you just put on the goblin.
The dog actually has a piece to its hide armor that acts as a pintle mount. So it's basically, coming off the top of its head, a little raised bit that he rests the gun on normally when firing. So the hide armor has earmuffs built for the dog.
Good to know.
So Paladin is okay.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'll call that a completed shopping episode.
Yeah.
That is oof.
Hey, did we level up?
I'll throw a
Fun
shit.
shopping. You just leveled up last session.
I mean, we did turn in the major first quest.
Yeah, that was
We delivered the princess.
Shut up. You have a giant gun now. That's your reward.
Yeah,
That's
but,
your level up.
I
was
want
not
you all to
expecting-
know. I want you all to know, however, bad news deals 2d12 points of
Oh, fuck. Okay.
You don't. I don't know why this gun was given to me, but that's fine.
This deals 2 great axes worth of damage.
I really hope your first shot crits and it's just max damage and it's just suddenly 48 points of damage.
It's fine. Nothing
Fuck
will
it.
go wrong. What could go wrong?
It misfires on a 3.
No, it
Oh,
doesn't.
No.
No, it doesn't misfire on a 3.
No, it
No.
bad news.
And it costs you
Nope.
5. If it ever breaks, it
I
costs
promise you-
500 additional gold to fix.
I promise you that this gun will never fire on a misfire of 3. Because there will never be a time when I'm not like, I should spend some grit on this. So this gun will misfire somewhere between 4 to 6.
Oh, that's what you need.
I want to make this commitment to you now. There will never be a low risk firing of this gun. But,
Yes. Good.
I don't feel this gun will do quite as much damage. I better put just a little extra black powder around the outside of it. before
Nope.
I fire that off.
Nope.
Nope.
Boom.
We'll just stack 2 bullets on top of one another in the barrel.
Absolutely not.
Every single person in the party is now on rogue gun watch.
Oh my god. Because you have violent shot, right?
I do.
Oh my god, just start rolling additional d12s.
No, it's a 6-foot barrel, and each bullet is 2 inches long. So that is 2. That would be by 12. So that would be yes. This will be 36 bullets per shot. I'm sure that's exactly how guns work.
He also has the ability to just give himself advantage, I think.
Not quite that easy. It does take a hide as a bonus action, but
No, you eventually get. Don't you have the Oh, did you not
Deadeye
take
shot.
Deadeye?
I don't even know what Deadeye is at this point.
Deadeye is one of the trick shots you could have taken. You spend a grit to get advantage.
When you make a firearm. Oh, neat! I should take that eventually.
He took violent shot without the other one that goes with violent shots.
Hey, allow me to explain to you how goblins think.
Kaboom! That's it.
Up until a few years ago, a goblin demolition was a instant retirement occupation. Sure.
That's rough. All right. So I would say after all this dicking around, it's getting close to late evening again. As you wander around with 6-foot goblin pole.
Well,
Can
I'm a
like
modest
one of
goblin.
us just hold the gun and then have him at the very end of the gun?
I just want you to know that doorways may become a little bit difficult.
Especially dwarf doorways.
You're not in a very tall community.
It's fine, it's fine. I mean, my Mastiff is like 4.5 to 5 feet long. So if I just turn it, sideways and just hold it by my side, it's only got, a half foot off of either end. It shouldn't be horribly difficult to navigate.
Nope, I just like picturing it on your back.
A mastiff
I like
can
it on my
bend
back.
a little bit though.
Yeah, and also, when I do that, I kind of lay both the lance and the gun down, so anyone in front of me is in an awful lot of danger. That's fine.
I'm reaching for the lance, maybe.
Boom!
This Jew is going
Suddenly,
to
a
go
lot of dead dwarves in a straight line.
Hey, well, that was an unfortunate accident that has happened this time of day.
And suddenly, I'm going to leave.
So, I am going to ask you guys a very important question as we proceed into the next part of this adventure now that you have shopped. What is your plan, unnamed group?
Well, Rogue is all about getting back to his clan up north and saving them.
Isoba wants to stick with the child princess and
Artoria
find
wants
whoever
to-
is asking
is okay
him
too.
to find.
Oglis follow new friends.
Because I'm going to need to start planning out a direction that you people want to go.
Oh.
Who has directions so far?
I was here, or I wasn't here for that entire ending bit with the king, so I have no idea what happened. I was dying on the inside.
Not directions from him yet.
Nothing.
He gave that yes, there could be jobs around, but
Gotcha.
I don't think there was like a direction yet from him.
There was no direction given from him. And from the way they spoke, that there wasn't going to be.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And the
So
princess
we can just go ask around town of the city and just do like, hey, fetch quest time.
Welcome. Well, you see this map? You see this map right here? You have all of this to play with.
Let's go to Corvesh. I hear it's a really good gambling town. I mean, that's not meta knowledge.
well, at this
You don't know that. Prudence does.
Prue does not want to go in that direction. She will
wait,
I'd admit-
which direction?
down towards Corvesh and
Oh, okay.
I want to go to
south.
Hambrook. I've heard they have good cured meat.
Ooh.
You say food,
A-
and Artoria's
A river of cured meats, my friend.
That sounds just like a river of blood, but like coagulated.
Potato.
You are strongly judged.
That was out of character.
Yeah, no.
So, like, after all the wandering around they've done today, and what you said before about knowledge being controlled, would Prue get the feeling that this would not be the place to ask around about certain things in her book?
It might be. This is one of the most advanced areas for creation.
It has probably recently become the most with the fall of a certain.
Well,
capital
it's-
city.
Minas Tirith was always a religious organization.
That's true.
So, Dimladar, if you're going to find anywhere in this continent that is going to have answers in your book, this would be the place.
So she's gonna want
Wait,
to
which
hang
place?
out here. She's gonna want to hang out here for a bit and do some poking about in that direction.
Yeah, I think I'm also gonna do some poking.
As a while we poke kind of thing, I know we talked briefly early on about some of the magic harvesting systems, and I think there's something like an essence extractor, and there's creatures you can basically go hunt and get cool stuff.
Yes.
Would that be like a
Wicked
day
that.
job to support us while
It totally
we
could
spend
be.
our nights investigating?
So I need to remember where no, you came from the north. Prudence would mostly know this. Artoria would as well. So there's a lot of horrible things that live in these woods.
Yes.
I think we need
Let's murder him.
I think like we need like one horrible to start with.
Nah,
like a-
we diving
maybe
right
like-
in there.
Horrible things, not horrible
Hit him,
things.
hit him.
Horrible things come from here,
Okay.
Maybe
and like around this area.
See, because I seem to remember like around this area here, there was like an Ettin. So
this
like,
is horrible. This is
Okay.
I kind
this-
of got my shit kicked in.
so that would be like a four-headed giant.
So actually, roll a history check. Let's do
Anyone?
this. Anyone. This is basic world knowledge. Oh, yeah, you know this. So
Yeah, history is one of the ones that I'm good at.
so the reason that Dimladar, with its military strength, has never taken Corythan's land is because these mountains are horribly impassable by foot. These hills are rough to move any sort of siege enginery over. And this wood eats armies. People go in there, and you don't see them.
Let's go to the one horrible then.
What they say.
There's a path through.
Hardwood
There
eats
is
armies.
totally a path through. And most people do not know the condition of that road. No one goes that way because the last time an army traveled through there, it never made it the other side. There
And-
was like 50 soldiers that were told during a war between Dimladar and Corythan, march through the wood and surprise, and we'll attack them from both sides. And they just never got here.
And did we say it was approximately 1 day per square?
It's approximately 1 day per 3 squares.
Per-
About-ish.
About-ish, okay. So we could take a, say, 10-day, go down, investigate woods, come back, and that would be like a 10-day journey
Just
out.
about.
back.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a reasonable...
If you take the road, it's a day out from Dimladar to Whitefall, and then a half a day to get to the forest proper, and then you're in it.
We in there, boys.
I mean, I
This is how we roll up a new party.
I'm not gonna
Let's
say
do
that's.
it.
I'm not gonna say that's a wrong statement. I'm gonna say do your homework.
So I mean, my thought, Rogue is looking for allies because there's no way he can do anything up north. The party is an effective ally group, and for some reason we can pass through the barrier, which it seemed like other people maybe couldn't.
As you were told, people have gone through the barrier. They just aren't coming back.
Yeah, we came back, so I count that as a win for
Well.
us.
Maybe.
So like maybe you guys start your investigations while those rumors are fermenting. We experiment out in the woods and come back, and then maybe experiment out in the woods and come back and see what develops.
Yeah.
So
as for Zach's planning, our next step is going to be researching the woods and going to the woods.
okay, so that all of that requires going to see the Grimstones.
What?
Or does
I don't know. My brain stopped working.
I went
for-
to Peru because good show.
My brain stopped
wish you-
working about 2 notes into that.
you
Yeah,
know
My
what?
brain stopped working at it's not a high school.
That was some hours long shade you just cast.
Sure was.
Man.
I could have just escalated that so goddamn badly.
So maybe to give them places to do, like if we talk to the guys there. I mean, I like ham too, so maybe we could like figure we're gonna do the right across the woods and come down, get some ham, come back, visit some towns,
Ooh, big idea, big idea.
like do a loop.
Yeah.
You can do
I mean,
that.
we could do the big loop. I mean, we could come back up here, hit up
Reinvestigate
Evandar,
the wall.
see if they've got any fucking wagons for us.
I mean, you're in it.
We're in a massive city. Why don't we check here for wagons?
Because he's gonna be like, no, there's no wagons underground. Don't be silly. I know how he works.
They'll
You
have
totally-
it.
yeah. You did pass the place that did woodworking. You can get a wagon.
It's like,
Grayson's wagon is wonderful. Let us have a wagon.
he's like, these are dwarven wagons. They're made of adamantine. They can only be pulled by a giant purple worm.
Purple worm, purple worm.
Was that
You know
Purple Rain?
We're
Yeah.
doing
Sure was.
Wow.
that thing again where we're singing but not making the chat pay for it.
Ah, see?
Chat, give us silver so we have a real reason to sing. Do it.
Pay for our stupidity.
I think we
You
may
guys
have
are getting
lost.
paid.
I think we may have lost some of Twitch at this point.
Well, we got 9 viewers right now, so I feel good about
That's
that.
significantly
pretty
better
sure,
than
like,
any of my
we're
friends in their
500
desperate
now.
attempts to stream.
But are we? Do you have another scene for us, or are we winding down?
We are winding down.
Okay.
I am leaving the city open to you. For the next half hour, whatever you want to, if you want to investigate something, if you want to go buy something, you have I railroaded you here. And that is where I stop railroading you. Good luck, everyone.
So I'll throw one out there. My background is actually spy. So I have a
Ooh.
criminal contact floating around somewhere.
A goblin that isn't bad at disguising itself.
Well, it might not be a goblin. It might be a impressionable official. It might be a human somewhere. Is there
you
anywhere-
would have to go out and find him, yes.
Yeah, I understand. Is there anywhere that I might suspect he is or she is positioned at this point?
You would
Right.
have you yourself, because your tribe does not come down this way,
No, heck no.
have no inkling of what this place looks like other
Mhm.
than rings. So you would have to go and find.
No, but I mean, would Dim Lodar be a place for whatever contact this might be, or would it be more
Oh,
story
absolutely.
advantageous to drop it somewhere else?
Well, so Dim Lodar controls everything here.
Got it.
So this is a central point of which all of this territory is owned. Everything here belongs to the. Everything
right,
here is
you
under
just went
control of the Iron King. Everything under this is Corethan, and then Corethan, instead of going up, went outwards to the sea.
Gotcha.
But everything is here. So
I
yes,
see.
this is an advantageous place for your contact. You do not know where it would be or who it might be.
Nope, that's
You got-
fine. Just as a rogue is moving about through the town, he's flashing the covert signal like, "Hey, I'm a goblin."
And by
Because
flashing covert signal, he means doing absolutely nothing other than looking like what he looks
looking like a goblin, he's like, "Yes, I am a goblin, actually." Calm down. Calm
We
down.
will discuss this.
Yep.
During the 2 weeks off, I will message you and we'll
Seems
I would like everyone just really quickly to roll a perception check. Now that I'm thinking about it.
crushing it.
Perception with my +0.
Perception. Damn.
Okay,
Nothing
Rogue,
above a 10 this session.
Rogue,
One of those
you're
days.
the only one to see this.
Right here.
So as you're wandering and going back up the rings to go back to the tavern, out of the corner of your eye, you see something moving, and it's taller than most of the dwarfs that reside here, and its skin is red. But as you turn to go look towards it, as it's seemingly running towards you, it touches a wall and just gets sucked into the wall and disappears.
Oh, I gotta stop eating the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Come we all be sitting down and taking our meal and recapping the events of the day, Rogue will, by the way, show the craziest thing. big red fella come rushing at us and then just right into the wall.
He looked kind of like Prudence, a little bit.
He looked a little like Prudence. I think,
Excuse me?
Zach, I swear to God.
uh,
He had
No.
horns, but his skin was a dark, almost ruby shade of red, and had a long coat.
horny fella, long coat,
Best.
probably one of them flashy types.
Yeah.
Ruby red, looked to be. Yeah, and then just right into the stonework. I think, likely some sort of devil.
Like, just went into the wall?
Well, it was more of a kind of.
It looked more like he touched the wall and just vanished from existence. He didn't go into the wall. He just
Yeah, he seems to be made of anti-wall, so when the two touched, he exploded.
I don't know enough to counteract that. But I refuse to believe you.
It's very
he's made of anti-wall.
it's very advanced goblin science. It relies heavily on our math, which is centered around fleecing people, as you know. And so yes, anytime something unexpectedly disappears, like large sums of gold, it's because of anti-gold. This is a similar principle where a person who disappears must have touched an object that they are constructed anti of. In this case, the fellow touched a wall and disappeared. Therefore, he must be constructed entirely of anti-wall.
So it was a suicide?
Effectively, or he was unfortunate. and was-
Dark.
Dark. Oof.
We're in, like, the magic center of the area. Very-
Not particularly the magic center. Actually, the magic center of the world exists on a different continent.
That's why she said of the area.
Not that either. The magic center of this continent is north.
North.
It's the Dragon Mountains.
Where we can't get to.
Where you? Well, you
So
could
this
certainly
area.
try.
But magic is a fairly common thing. So I am more likely inclined to believe in some sort of enchanted shenanigans than I am anti-wall.
Well, I suppose magic could be involved, but that goes against science.
What if the enchantment is anti-wall?
My word, you may have cracked the theory, the grand unified theory of goblin science and crazy ass tiefling magic.
My God, I've done it. You're right.
I hope you is willing to publish this paper. It will benefit many people.
I need to. Oh God, I have to prepare a speech.
Oh, I'm glad this character is still the greatest thing we've ever made.
Fucking riffin'.
So, you may wish to be careful just in case he encounters additional anti-wall and reappears.
Just what? There, it goes deeper.
Well, yes, of course. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For
An
example,
anti-action?
yes, an anti-action, as it were. For example, were I to say, Mingo again, there would be a very violent reaction.
If you were to what?
To mention Flamingo again.
So like flamingo.
Yes, exactly like that. Anticipate a violent reaction.
shanked by a nearby quiet bird.
The giant pink bird runs up and fucking stabs. Fucking Artoria just like.
Yeah.
Alright. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do? Before any simple idea or item before we sign this off.
So I did one more. The essence extractor or whatever the thing is that we need to gather the things.
You also
Is
need
that-
to. You also would need to acquire one.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that what Prudence bought with the arcane kit thing, or is that a separate thing?
Prudence, it's been 2 weeks.
No, I mean the thing she just bought. I think.
No. The what she just bought is just materials. She
Okay.
just bought general materials for her own creations.
Okay.
No, you would have to get an essence extract.
Okay, so then I would like to, doesn't have to be right now, but for next week, along with visiting the Grimstones, acquire
Very easily to
essence
find out.
extractor.
Very easily to find out. Something like that is in the control of the runic. Oh god, I forget the name of it already. Oh boy,
Hang on, I wrote it down. Where'd it go?
me
The
too.
runic philosophical.
The
Yes.
runic philosophical. I was like, P word. What did I write there? Yes, it is in control. Something like that isn't within control of the runic philosophical.
Which is good. Those are the people we're talking to. Awesome.
August, in the meantime, will make some ointment.
Yeah, very easy enough for you to do.
Right.
You make another batch of it.
Sweet.
I cannot hear that word except in Danny DeVito's penguin voice.
Ointment.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. Just, it's stuck in my brain. Yep.
Trying to find that essence extractor.
I
I will find it by the time we need it.
13 on the complete crafter.
There it is. All right, yeah. That is something that you would have to speak with them about.
Cool.
Anything else?
No, sir.
All good.
August is good.
Isoba wants to do some religious studies and figure out what the fuck that feather is trying to lead him.
To do so, you would have to actually speak with. Well, first off, you ask your new friend about it, and he will lead you to the Stone Speaker, who is the head of all faith and religious activity in Nimladar.
Religiosity.
Scientology.
Oh no.
Nope, we're not going that far. Yeah, very easy to find out that if you want to, any religious activity is under the guidance and control of the Stone Speaker.
Good to know.
And that's the person that called for our friend from the forest.
Yes.
And is he a dwarf or is he other?
The stone speaker?
No, you.
Me? Yes, I'm a dwarf.
Okay.
Well, if no one else has any minor things to wrap up, I think we can wrap up with a very successful shopping episode.
Woo!
Good deal.
The Goblin now has a very dangerous weapon.
Our nurse
Yes, he
This weapon is so safe. I can shoot an apple right off your head.
The weapon is explosive. He's gonna hit the apple, and you'll
I
take
can
damage.
I can shoot the apple right off your head.
Or he'll hit your head and also hit the apple.
It's
The
fine.
head.
It's
The head off your apple.
the head off your apple.
Oh